This is the 5th time that I've tried to record this video for YouTube. The first time, my batteries kept dying in the camera, so I decided to try a different time. Months later, and after using the camera several other times, the camera just decides that it's going to die. Figure, okay, it's an old camera, that's fine. Then I get this camera, and I successfully film the whole story, load it to my laptop, get it all edited, get it ready to go. Then my laptop crashes, dies, can't salvage anything off of it. The camera card that I had used in this camera to film that video is corrupted. I can't salvage anything off of that. So then I come out here today, after almost a year after filming that other video, once I've saved up enough to buy another laptop, and I feel it's spooky season, it's time to go, we gotta get this done. I'm sitting here on the old remnants of the rock wall, and I start sneezing, and I figure, well, I should reset the video so that I can do that again. I get up, a boulder rolls, and I fall almost on my face down over the rock wall. And my fingers are numb right now, right here, because I braced myself against a tree trunk to keep from hitting myself in the head. So apparently this subject is a little bit of a bad luck to talk about, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because after all of this trouble trying to film this story, I really want to get this out there. Okay, so from previous videos, a lot of people know I have some sort of weird, I don't know if you'd call it a relationship or ability or what it is, but I have seen the Grim Reaper on numerous occasions. Probably 3 times prior to the experience that I'm about to relay to you, but I have seen it since, and I've seen it in my yard since. This story happened in October of 2021. It was the Friday, so the exact date would have been October the 9th, 2021. The time, I had to get up really early that day to go to work, so I'm thinking I would have woken up around 4 o'clock in the morning because I had to be at my workplace starting at 7:30 for when we opened the lab. So I would have had to drive an hour and 20 minutes to get there. So yeah, I would have woken up around 4 o'clock in the morning. So my youngest dog, Tans, was not, she wasn't a year old yet. She was still a puppy. I got her in August. So she probably would have been like 4 or 5 months at that time. She was born in June. I can't do the math right now in my head. But she was still really young. We were still doing some potty training on her. So I picked her up because she's has some issues with walking on leash and things at that time. Like, she just wouldn't move because she's so terrified of everything. So I would have carried her outside. I would have had our older dog, who would have been 6 at the time, Jack. He's a miniature pinscher, red coat. We would have had him running along beside me when I took the little puppy outside, do her business, give her treats, tell her she's so great for going pee outside and not in the house. All that puppy training things that everybody does when they have a puppy. But Jack, being the older dog, he just kind of has free range where he can just kind of walk around and do his thing in the morning, make sure he's got all of his pee out, because being a male dog, he just likes to pee on everything. So I get Tans in the house, I give her her breakfast and make sure she's okay, and then I go back out to the door, and I'm standing there with my hand on the doorknob saying, "Come on, Jack, hurry up, I gotta get ready for work." And he's standing there sniffing around, and he walks up to the wood pile, and then he lifts his leg and he pees on the wood, and I'm thinking, oh great, he's peeing on the wood pile. And I just say, "Come on, hurry up, let's go in the house." And then I see it. Now, the way that we were piling our wood that year is, it was kind of like a U shape. So we had a pallet coming, it's hard to show it, but we had a pallet going this way and then another pallet going this way, so it was like a, and then there would be wood all through. We were starting our wood pile, so we had wood here, here, and then on the sides. And then as we were getting wood, we'd fill it in to make the big square. Now, inside here was all hollowed out because we just didn't get to that point yet. Still October, still splitting our wood, we just don't have it done. So, he is standing here, he's got his little leg lifted, he's peeing. Anyway, I saw something pop up behind the wood pile and move off over the hill into the pet cemetery. It was wearing this dark gray cloak. I just saw the back of it, but it was just the way it was, like it just come up out of the ground and walked away. I immediately knew what it was. I don't get scared by ghosts. I've seen a lot of weird things in my lifetime, being sensitive to energies and whatnot. But when I seen that, I was spooked because I knew exactly what it was. I knew this was a Grim Reaper, and it was standing right beside my dog. I fling the door open, I yell, Jack, Jack, get in the house right now. And I'm terrified, and I still feel a little shaken up talking about it, even though I'm not scared of it. I'm not scared. It's just such a freaky experience. It's hard to explain unless you've actually had an experience that was absolutely crazy creepy. Just gonna check the camera lens, make sure it's still rolling. Good. Camera's still rolling, we're still good. So I get him in the house, and although I know looking back on it, it would have done absolutely no good. Put the gate hook on the screen door, I clicked the lock on the knob, I shut the inside door, put the barrel bolts across and all the snip locks, and I locked the doorknob, and I put my back against the wall, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, that was a Grim Reaper, it was a Grim Reaper. And I'm just kind of like taking a moment to process what I just seen, being wide, fully awake after being outside in the cold October early morning with my doggies to go pee. I was absolutely 100% fully awake. So I just go about my morning, grab something real quick to eat, get washed up, get dressed, put all my makeup on, get ready to go out the door. Now, I told both Big Doggy and Great 769, under no circumstances are you to let either of those dogs outside without a leash. You need to watch them at all times. Do not let them outside. Watch them like a hawk. Be very, very careful. I saw something outside this morning. I did not tell them what I saw, but I really instilled in them it was extremely important. Do not let those dogs outside unattended. So after work, I go up to Seaforth, I do what I gotta do at Hopes for Wildlife, and then I go into Dartmouth, I do some grocery shopping and all that stuff that you would do if you're that close to the city, you might as well. And I'm coming back. Apparently Big Doggy's been trying to call my cell phone to get a hold of me, but I don't get the message because very sparse cell service down here. You're not going to get a text. I don't even know why a lot of people down here have a cell phone. The only reason I had one at the time was because I needed it for my job. Because where I was traveling from different places, they did need a way to get a hold of me when I was in cell service areas. So it's after dark when I get home, and I'm backing into the driveway. I notice that the outside light's already on, which is not normal. But as soon as I put the car in park, Big Doggy comes running out. He's absolutely panicked. I can't hear him with the window rolled up, so I open the door, and he starts screaming at me that there's something wrong with Jack. He thinks he's dying. He thinks he ate something he shouldn't have, and he's very, very, very sick. So when I go in the house, I see Jack. He's shaking. His pupils are over-dilated. I don't think they could have gotten any bigger. He is extremely hot to the touch. He actually feels wet because he's so hot. Dogs don't sweat, but it's like it must have been something to do with the air being colder and him being so hot. He felt damp, and he smelled really bad for some reason. Like it was like a bad smell just coming right out of his skin. And I told Big Doggy, call the emergency vet line. The number's on the fridge. We keep a fridge magnet with it. Call them, tell them what's going on. tell him that he ate something that he shouldn't have and that he's really, really sick. So he calls the vet. They don't seem concerned about this for some reason. They told him, just go to your nearest open vet. This is probably like 8:30, maybe 9. I don't think I would have gotten back at 9, but it would have been probably around 8:30 or so at night on a Friday evening, Thanksgiving weekend. There is no vet open, and there will be no vet open until Tuesday. So he gets off the phone with them and he looks kind of scared, and he's like, they just told me to take him to the nearest open vet. We have no open vets. And they are also the closest vet, the emergency vet. So I just looked at him and I looked at Jack and I said, okay, if he makes it through the night, he makes it through the night. If not, he doesn't. Grab me the bottle of hydrogen peroxide. So I go back, do an internet search just to refresh my memory on the correct dosage per pound of dog for hydrogen peroxide to induce vomiting, because he's not throwing up, and whatever's in his tummy that's causing the poisoning, it needs to get out. So I give him his dose of peroxide to try to get him to vomit. And I pick him up and I kind of rock him a bit, trying to mix the peroxide in his stomach, and then we take him outside because he is very high fever. I didn't have a thermometer to properly check him. I tried to use my oral thermometer on him, but that just does not work on a dog that's as reactive as he is and as sick as he was. But I know that his skin was all very red and very, very hot to the touch. His heart rate was also extremely fast. I can't remember exact numbers because it was so long ago, but I did get my stethoscope out and I did check that. And I said, this dog is very close to a heart attack. We got to get him outside. We got to cool him down. We got to get him to throw up. So we took him outside and we walked him around. I don't even remember how long we walked him around, but it was a long time. And around midnight, he actually started to throw up. And it was like rotten chicken fat and tin foil and all sorts of stuff come out of his stomach. What happened was the raccoons had gotten into the garbage a few nights before, and not everything that got ripped out of the bags got picked up off the ground. And I was not told that it wasn't all picked up. I can't even remember if they told me that the raccoons got into the garbage. I can't remember anymore. But I do know that raccoons got into the garbage. They ripped out a whole bunch of stuff. There was rancid chicken in the garbage. And Jack ate it. And he had what is known as garbage toxosis or garbage guts. It is a very serious condition, and a lot of dogs do die from this. But we got him through the night. He started throwing up. We got his temperature down. I don't think we got to bed until like 2 a.m. It was a mess, and I was so glad it was a weekend and I didn't have to go to work anymore until like Tuesday, because Monday being Thanksgiving holiday here, I didn't have to go to work. But that's not the end of it. Jack was not the intended victim. Jack just got very, very sick because he was so close to the Grim Reaper. Sunday evening, my cat Checkers woke up from a nap, and his head was twisted in a very abnormal way. He had obviously had a stroke. He got down, but his head was like a normal cat's like this. His head was down, hyperextended, and he just had this wide open stare. He could not move his head. He tried to get a drink several times through the night, and that's all he did was drink, go take a nap. Again, it's Thanksgiving weekend and there's no veterinarians open at all. There is absolutely nothing that can be done for my boy. And he passes away later in the evening. Now, he was 15 years old and he did have kidney problems that he was on medications for. But I feel like the Grim Reaper had come for Checkers. And I don't know if the Reapers mark you or how it works. But a few days later, my little cat was gone. And this all goes to show that we have no idea what is around us at any given time. We don't know when the end is coming. We don't know when that Reaper is going to come visit us, or if we are going to be affected by it passing by us, as what happened to Jack. And I guess that's really the end of this story, is we just don't know what's out there. I do know I have seen the Grim Reaper. I do know the few times that I have seen it, I wasn't really scared of it. What unnerved me and unsettled me and scared me was the knowledge that if I'm seeing this, somebody is going to die. And that is what bothers me. So anyway, happy spooky season! Let's hope my computer doesn't crash again after uploading this video.